What would the world look like if the Nazis had won? It is one of history's most chilling questions. Dozens of novels, films, and series have imagined it. But what does the actual history tell us? Let us look at the facts carefully and honestly. First, how close did it really come? Nazi Germany expanded at a terrifying speed. In 1925, under the Weimar Republic, Germany covered about 469,000 square kilometers. By 1940, that had grown to over 800,000, and counting every occupied territory during the war. The total reached nearly 2,700,000 square kilometers. That would have made it the 10th largest country on Earth. But Germany was doomed by a series of fatal mistakes. Its war economy was too weak in the early years. It fought on two fronts at the same time. Its supply lines into Russia were stretched and fragile. It lost key battles at Stalingrad and Kursk, and then it declared war on the United States. Compared to its rivals, Germany simply did not have the numbers. Britain and America had more than double its economic output. All three of its enemies had far larger populations, and Germany lacked one critical resource: oil. The same oil its enemies had in abundance. So could it ever have actually won? Historians who study this point to a few turning points. Britain was an island hard to invade without control of the sea and sky. If Germany had won the Battle of Britain, a negotiated peace might have been possible. The invasion of the Soviet Union was Hitler's worst mistake. The early phase went smoothly for the Germans, but geography, population, and oil were all against them. Even with better planning, the odds of victory stayed low, and the final obstacle was always the United States. Its economy was larger than all the Axis powers combined. Short of building the atomic bomb first, there was no realistic path to defeating America. So the best case for Germany was not total victory. It was a stalemate, a frozen standoff like the Cold War. And this is where the imagined history turns truly dark. With the fighting over Hitler planned the general plan for the East. It was a blueprint for mass murder on an unimaginable scale. The plan aimed to eliminate around 110 million people. 15 million more would be deported to Siberia. Tens of millions would be forced into bonded labor. The remaining Jewish population, nearly 4 million people, would have been murdered to complete the genocide. Added together, the death toll from a German victory could have reached 114 million human beings. For comparison, the entire Second World War killed about 80 million. This was not a fantasy of a better world. It was a plan for one of the darkest futures ever conceived. So who would win a Cold War between America and Nazi Germany? The United States would likely fund and train resistance fighters. The cultural revolutions of the 1970s, the music, the art, the freedoms would never reach Nazi Europe. A standoff like the Cuban Missile Crisis might play out in Iceland. Most historians who imagine it favor the same outcome: an eventual American victory and the fall of the Nazi regime. A return of free markets and individual liberty to Europe. Now imagine modern Germany had simply kept its conquered lands. It would jump from the 64th largest country to the 10th. Its population would become the 4th largest in the world. Its economy would rival China, near $9 trillion. But income per person would fall sharply. The wealth would be spread thin across occupied populations. It is a thought experiment, nothing more. The real history is the one that matters. The Nazis lost and a future of mass murder was prevented. An estimated 300 million people fought in that war. Do you have a family member who lived through it? Share their story in the comments below.